She's a lagging indicator of American political developments. There's a rising generation of young Republicans, men and women, governors, senators, etc. And why in the world, with this budding all-star team out there, would they turn to Sarah Palin?
It's not fair and not right.
The budding all-star team. Who's on the team? Who's on the team? I love Haley Barbour. He rocks, but Young doesn't come to mind when I hear Haley Barbour's name. I love him. I mean, Paul Ryan's an interesting guy, I guess, and Eric Cantor. Although, who saw Eric Cantor dancing at the 4th of July festivities on the Mall? Did you see? Okay. This was white man's overbite time, okay? I am going to get the video and post it on our website. I'm going to somehow get it. I was screaming. It was so funny. I mean, first of all, George Bush showed us, don't dance. Just, if you can't, just don't dance. Joining us now is 25 minutes before the hour is Bill Kristol, and of the Weekly Standard, of course, and Fox News. And Bill has been all over the place on this Palin resignation, what it means for her political future, for her financial future, and what's this all about. Bill, it's great to have you on.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
I know you would never dance when the camera was on.
You're not seeing me dancing anywhere. That's the mistake I'm not making.
It was an image that really I don't even care to revisit. You heard what George Will said. Yeah. I mean, he was obviously very tough on Sarah Palin, and I was taken aback, as many others, that she decided to leave before she finished out her term as governor. What insights do you have on her decision and what this could mean for her political future?
I mean, in terms of the George Will comment, with all due respect to George Will, the way people make the All-Star team in baseball or any other sports, they play their way onto it. They play their way onto it. So let's let her see how she does,
Yep.
I don't think it's really my place or George Will's place or your place to say he's on the All-Star team and she isn't,
Mm-hmm.
She's been a pretty able person. She's risen awfully fast. She had a rough campaign in 08, but I think did pretty well given the incredible mismanagement of the McCain people and the media hostility. She's chosen to leave the governorship. Now, I was surprised by it. I'm not sure whether it's the right move or not. On the other hand, to be fair to her, if she wants to run and consider running in 2012, she needs to get around the country. She needs both to give speeches on behalf of people and to get herself a little better educated on national issues and meet people. It's hard to do that when you're the sitting governor of Alaska. And I would even say to her credit, in a way, it's probably better for the citizens of Alaska to have a real governor for the next year and a half full time than have her, traveling around the lower 48 states, half the time. I mean, it's funny how everyone gives a pass to Barack Obama when he's a senator and just basically, frankly, neglect his duties for a couple of years to run for president, or Dodd or McCain or any of them. I'm not being critical of Obama, or George W. Bush when he was governor of Texas in 99, 2000. So I think it's reasonable. She took a gamble. She made a decision. And now it's totally up to her, and I believe in the market. Let her go out there, let her do interviews, let her give speeches, let her meet with people. Let's see if she can lead the opposition to Obama's cap-and-trade proposal. Let's see if she can be a conservative leader. If she can do it, you know what?
Time will tell.
Then she's an all-star. If she can't do it, then she won't make it, and people will look at Newt Gingrich or Mitt Romney or Paul Ryan or anyone else. So I think people are being a little quick to judge here.
Yeah, I think it's just so hard to predict, and I started off my show by saying I'm not predicting anything. I don't know what this means. I was surprised by it, and I try to put myself in her position, but it's really impossible to do so, and I don't know how I would have reacted. I would hope I would be able to stand up and take it, but it would be very difficult on a family, and I understand all that. But at the same time, Bill, I mean, we got to be brutally honest and fair and say, look, this is what politics is. And if you're a pro-life woman who's attractive as she is, and she's she's had a huge following, of course they're going to be coming after you. That's what they do.
But she doesn't. And look, I think she muddied the message a little by maybe harping on that a little in her statement. But she knows that's not going to stop. And if, as she's indicated, she's interested in possibly staying in the fray and maybe even going for national office, or in any case staying in the political debate, she knows the assault's not going to stop. Now, having said that, I would say the brutality of the assault on her and her family is really extraordinary.
New low.
I mean, we've all taken our little hits, and we've watched other people we like and admire take hits. Clarence Thomas, for whom you worked, was one of the most brutal, but I've never quite seen anything like this. And I think she's entitled to let off a little steam. Everyone's sitting around Washington the last 48 hours. Ooh, she's a quitter. Ooh, she shouldn't complain. Come on. I mean, give her a little break. She's entitled to complain once or twice. Now, if she does it for 6 or 12 months, we're all going to lose patience, frankly.
Yeah.
But
Probably
you know.
not tweet. She probably should stay away from Twitter and not tweet about the media.
But
Maybe. I mean, at some point, complaining about the press, it's not really a winning strategy. I mean, I think your point about getting behind a few big ideas and being the champion of those and hitting the briefing books and getting serious and I think that's an interesting perspective. One of the emails, I've gotten thousands of emails just during the last few hours, Bill. Here's one of them that's interesting. Laura, I was devastated when I heard Governor Palin was resigning. I really hope that she does have a plan because this decision doesn't sit well with me, and I'm a supporter. I still think that she's the best thing for this country. However, this resignation really hurts her chances of a future political career. If she did this because she was tired of all the nasty, negative press, then I understand, but I think this plays into her opponent's hands. William Jones, Charlottesville, Virginia. Does this embolden those on the left who seek to knock off political candidates?
It probably does, and that's really one of the things we need to prevent, this kind of just trashing of every attractive conservative who emerges. And, of course, the mainstream media isn't going to do anything to stop it. A lot of them collude with it. And look what they did to Miguel Estrada, this terrifically talented young lawyer nominated by Bush to be on the D.C. Circuit. You know, they trashed him totally unjustly, held up his nomination. He ended up not, going forward with it. He would have been a possible Supreme Court candidate, and you know Miguel better than I do. I mean,
yes.
It's really so unjust. So they really, this is now the strategy, a kind of politics of personal destruction, as Governor Palin said. But look, I think a lot of Palin supporters I've talked to are a little disappointed and a little, worried and puzzled that this might not work out well. And I think that's fair enough. I don't know if it was the right decision or not, but let's see. It's very hard, as you said at the beginning of the show. It's extremely hard to predict these things. And, if a year from now she has gone around the country, galvanized conservatives on a couple of issues, been articulate, done a million interviews and done well, has spent some private time, getting up to speed on those issues she hasn't had an opportunity to deal with much in Alaska. I think people might look up and say, you know what, that looked like a little risky thing to do at first, but that might just turn out fine. If she really is disciplined in the way Reagan was in 77, 78, using her time as a private citizen to really make a difference politically and become the leader of conservatives nationally, this could work out well. Otherwise, it was a hasty decision which she might regret.